Oh, Lordy, I'm tired today, folks. I was away this past weekend at the Great Northeastern War up in Hebron, Maine, and I spent the weekend living in a canvas tent and cooking over a fire and eating food and hanging with my friends, and it was a good time. But it was very tiring because we had to load all of our stuff and drag it on down because when we do this, we're living as medieval people would have, and so as medieval people would have, likely in a house, not while camping, and so we have a lot of stuff that we take with us. So it's like a car full to the gunnels and then, a trailer as well. But we made it there, we made it back, everybody survived, and it was a great weekend. Um, so that leads me to today's topic. Um, so help. I have totally lost the joy in doing my project. I've actually lost the joy for writing right at this particular moment. I'm tired and I'm having a bit of a down week. And so what's happening is that I'm overtired and sunburned and exhausted, and I just don't want to work on writing. I don't. And that's bad because, author. So I wanted to talk about it today because I'm pretty sure I may have heard one or two other authors out there say that they don't feel like writing at a particular time. And it seems to me that that's something that many of us can relate to. So, what am I going to do about the fact that I don't feel like writing today? Well, today it's a 1 day thing. And as long as it's a 1 day thing, I'm actually going to let it happen. And that's the first way that I'm going to deal with this. Sometimes you just hit a day and it's like, I don't want to write today. And as long as it's not happening every day or every week, it's okay to take a break. Um, so today, instead, I'm going to mow the lawn. I'm going to work on some sewing. I'm going to watch a show. I'm going to hang with fam and friends. Um, I'm just going to take care of me. Okay. If I get a really good night's sleep, I might wake up tomorrow morning and go, whew, I am ready to write. And that will be awesome. But there's an equal chance that I may not sleep well tonight, which means that I might wake up tomorrow morning and go, I don't want to write today either. And that's where I have to stop it. So I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who look at it and go, I don't want to go to work today, but you still go. And if writing is your work, even if it's only part time work, you can't just put it off. Putting it off for a day for a mental health day is okay. Putting it off for a week, not a good idea. Um, I take planned holidays from my writing, and that's okay. But I can't let my moods and my feelings um, control what's going on because that's just not a good thing. So, tomorrow, if I'm feeling this way, I'm going to get up and I'm going to work on some simple things on the second. Um, uh, I'll work on blood blood water a little bit. I'll probably just read to make sure I don't have spelling errors and grammar errors. I'm probably not going to do a whole lot more than that, but I will have done something and I'll put a good hour's worth of work into it. And then if I'm still feeling really out of it, I will let it go. If for whatever reason I sit down to do that and I just can't, and okay, sometimes that happens, I will pick up another project. So I happen to have a reenactor's cookbook that I've been working on for the last year or so. And I have all the recipes. I just need to actually write them all out and have it all organized. I will do a couple of recipes. I will write the background to it and I will plan to do one of those recipes at my next event so that I have things to write about when I come home from it. and maybe some photographs or stuff. This is how you deal with that frustration, with that lack of inspiration, if you will. Um, Sometimes you just have to sit down and do it. Um, Pulling up something different to work on can help, especially if I usually have more than one project going at a time so that I have the ability to do that. Although I'm at the end of Bloodwater and I really want to get it finished and off to the editor so that it can be published in time. But, sometimes you just have to move and work on a different piece. And don't beat yourself up over it. The time that you spend beating yourself up over things could be better spent working on writing, editing, um, and rewriting. My goodness, I'm so sorry. I really am tired. If you hadn't guessed, I really am tired. So yeah, but I'm going to take some of the things that happened this weekend and see if I can't twist them into things that I can put into either bloodstone to fill a hole, or blood water, pardon me, that to fill a hole that I have that I need to fix, or maybe it'll go into Blood Moon, which is the third book. Um, who knows? Maybe that will, the court thing that happened this weekend at Great Northeastern War might end up in a modified form in the third book. Wouldn't that be exciting? And then all of those of you who were at Great Northeastern and attended court can read it and go, hey, that's me. That's the other thing that I will sometimes do when I'm struggling with getting myself writing is I will take people who have either um, made my heart sing in a way that people who I know and want to bless by introducing a character, whether it's a side character or a main character in the books, or alternatively, I'll pull a Chaucer and I will vilify someone in fiction. I have to tell you, there is a certain level of joy that happens when you take somebody who has wronged you and you fictionalize them and then you punish the character. You're not doing anything to the person. Don't name names. Don't be petty. Don't be a jerk. But boy, taking a character and doing that to them, ooh, vilified in fiction. There's a scene in the movie A Knight's Tale, um, which is, of course, based on the Knight's Tale from Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, where Chaucer has managed to gamble away all of his things, including his clothing, and he is bailed out by the knight. And he turns to the moneylenders and says, I will write you with all of your pimples exposed. I will put you into my next piece of writing, and everyone will know you for the weasel that you are." And if you read the Canterbury Tales, you'll know that that is exactly what he did. And I often wonder if that was kind of behind it, even though A Knight's Tale is not terrifically period accurate. Oh my gosh, I apparently should call this to a halt. Um, However, look at your favorite writer and write a scene in a book for a book that you think should have been in there. Write a piece of poetry. I have a poetry book that has, like, I don't know, like 100 different forms of poetries, pantoums, um, uh, iambic pentameter, haikus. It's got lists of them and how to write them. And if I'm really stuck, if I really just can't get my head in the game, I will pick one at random. I'll flip the book open, pick one at random, and then I will force myself to write bad poetry. And, I mean, there's like 100 monkeys in a room typing out Shakespeare. Eventually, somebody writes something decent. If I write 100 of those, one of them will be okay. But that's okay. I'm not interested in most of my poetry getting out into the world. Okay, so I am very tired. I think what would help my writing most is if I go take a nap, and that's something else. Ask yourself, have you hydrated? Have you had enough to drink today? Have you had whatever your little addiction is? For me, it's the caffeine. No caffeine, no writing. Um, have you gotten up and got dressed? It's a stupid thing, and sometimes writing in your jammies is really, appealing, but if you're stuck, go and do the things. Brush your teeth, brush your hair, put on some clothes, sit down at the desk, and just do having a routine helps a lot. So, um, do the things, people. Talk to me about what you do when you're really not feeling like writing and you have to. I got to get this book out. I have people calling me and saying, please, we want the next book. So I got to get it out there. So therefore, I have to keep working and feelings be damned. But today, I'm going to go take a nap. Good night, everybody.